You're listening to the November 14th, 2014 reading of Blossom Goodchild's Channeling with the Federation of Light.
Good morning. Straight at it, a few questions from readers have arisen from last week, which I'd like to address, if I may.
We are happily ready to assist in knowledge where we are able. Please, put these queries to us.
Well, the first one is about our planet being the only one that is unaware of life elsewhere, as you mentioned last week. The sender of this question put it very well when he said, and I quote, "Imagine our planet is a single grain of sand upon which we human microbes inhabit its surface. Let's say that grain of sand is on your favorite beach on the Sunshine Coast. We are unaware of all the other microbes and our eternal relationship with them on all the other grains of sand on that beach. Furthermore, we're unaware of those other grains of sand on all other beaches in Australia. Furthermore, we are unaware of all the other grains of sand on all the other countries' beaches that are all over the world. We are the only grain of sand on the whole planet where this game is being played out unawares. What are the chances?" And indeed, what are the chances? It seems rather odd that we would be the only ones unaware of life elsewhere.
First of all, not all of you are unaware. There are more now than you probably imagine that know of life elsewhere. In this time frame that you're addressing, you are being fooled by those whose desires are to thwart any communication with us. Your governments supposedly spend millions of your monies saying they are searching for proof of life form elsewhere. And yet, there they are, actually meeting such beings face to face, and have, many times over, made agreements with off-worlders that they then refuse to honor.
Okay, we'll get back to that. So, is it that other planets have direct contact with those not of their world? Is that what you mean when you say we are the only planet who are awaiting your arrival?
It is known on all other planets that life goes on elsewhere. It is common sense. It is common knowledge. It is not that all planets accept visitors, yet it is without question known of their existence. Many planets share each other's bonding of thoughts, and therefore have friendly interactions on the, what you would call, physical and telepathic communication level. Others prefer to keep themselves to themselves. We are aware that the other question you were to ask was concerning the governments, and we feel this could all roll into one.
How handy! So you did pick up on my thoughts. Yes, to clarify, the other question was why the governments or the elites or whoever it is who are stopping the procedure are given such dominance over the events that we are all hoping will take place sooner rather than later. After all, they are less than 1% of us, to use the popular phrase, and they seem to be able to interfere with our free will by subliminal as well as overt means as they wish. Surely, given the tiny numbers involved in government, their opposition to the expected event should carry little weight.
On other planets, there is not the secrecy that your world portrays. That is not to say that all planets are loving and giving. Many prefer to keep to themselves, and have chosen to do so, and remain separated. As we spoke of, there are billions of scenarios to cover billions of life forms. It never stops, and by this, in this statement in particular, we mean creation. You see, Blossom, with respect there is much that many are unaware of that goes on within your world that would indeed prove to all our existence. And yet, for those involved, and we do not speak of governments here, their life is at stake. Were they to share common ground knowledge that they have with off-worlders. Most of you know that the elite, as you choose to call them, are in direct communication, yet refuse to allow this to be common knowledge. Their guise being that your world would go into chaos if they were actually to show footage of what really goes on. This, of course, is not the true reason, for they know that once acknowledgement of other species from other planets is accepted, then their power, their control is over.
So, as in the question asked, why do we have to put up with it? Why do these few that dominate us get away with it? So many of us know it's going on, yet feel powerless. Why are they allowed to continue with these atrocities? They are running our planet. They are destroying it. And if something doesn't intervene soon, quite frankly, if they continue on like this, we're all doomed. Surely your lot can gauge this. When all humans know of this, they would be only too happy for outside help to come and knock on those controllers off their perch. We just don't understand why nothing is being done to assist this matter in ending.
Again, complex matters. Your controllers do not want us around. Plain and simple. They will do anything to make sure this policy remains, including annihilating most of your planet.
As is what you said they were prepared to do if you carried out October the 14th, 2008.
They were prepared to do so. They had nothing to lose, because they would have lost everything.
Yet, as I've mentioned over and over, you folk of vast intelligence must have a few ideas up your sleeve as to how to get around this. Yes, they may well have plans in place to destroy should you suddenly appear, or make you look like the bad guys coming to take over and eat us. Yet you must be able to come up with something to get the ball rolling. Isn't there something about you not being able to interfere?
That depends on the needs, considering now the slump in which your world has fallen. Yet, yes, we are reading you, Blossom. We have said how much your world, on the other side of the coin, is becoming a much more enlightened, brighter place to be.
So what do your councils have to say about those who are committing such atrocities and wanting to get rid of most of us? What do they feel about popping down for tea and shaking the bejeebers out of this entire fiasco?
Tell us, Blossom, in your heart, do you truly believe that these matters we discuss with you are discussed with our councils? Do you?
Well, I would like to believe it. Otherwise, what is the point of me carrying on these discussions with you if I don't believe what you are saying to be true? I struggle with this sometimes, my position, I mean. For if it is true, then struth, I feel very honoured. Yet at the same time, I'm just me, Blossom Goodchild, travelling through life on this planet as best I know how, just like everyone else. So in answer to your question, I don't know if I believe it or not.
Then we would say to you that you undermine your position greatly. We need to say to you that you need to consider this carefully. For if indeed you feel unsure that what we say is not quite as it is, then there would be little point in carrying on our discussions.
Far out. I consider myself well and truly told off. Yet I know you're coming from love, and I know you're right in what you're saying. It's just hard to accept, as I say, that me, plain old me, has this, what's the word, position, responsibility. No, I don't like that one. I mean, really? Do you sit at High Council and someone says, next on the agenda, Blossom Goodchild's thoughts of the big show. She wants it now. I mean, really?
Blossom, again, we stress, if this is not the case, and we have said it is, why would you carry on our communication?
Well, it's all sort of light-hearted banter for me. That's the way I work with you. It would be different if I actually got taken up and met you all face to face and we sat and chewed the cud and made definite decisions and, dare I say, dates.
Why would it be different? Are we not doing this very thing, yet without the physical?
Well, my point entirely. It's all head-to-head stuff. Happy to be beamed up any time.
So we ask you again, do you believe that we discuss with counsel that which we talk about?
Well, the way this is coming through is making me feel differently about it. I can feel your earnest questioning and its importance. Oh, Lord. And now I'm suddenly crying, full on. A sort of an awakening, a dawning. It just sort of dawned on me for real. I guess this has been brewing, hasn't it? Because of my questioning to myself in my head as to why I'm doing this, etc. And if it is really real. And if it is making a difference or just confusing some people. I love your teachings. I don't get, however, the pattern of chat sometimes, and then it all dying down again. Speaking with you is something I do. It just happens and feels so easy that I guess I perhaps take it for granted. Much thought needed here because, I don't know, just because. What's your thoughts?
We had no desire to cause tears. Yet we had great desire for you to take heed and recognize these conversations in a more serviceable fashion.
Serviceable?
In that it was necessary for you to get your position, in a sense of your soul remembering this agreement, and for your humanness to let go of its doubts about who you are.
I guess that's the problem. I don't mean to do the martyr thing of why me, but really it's so huge. I mean, why me? I'm so normal.
The nail has just been hit on the head.
But then I could say there are millions of normal people.
And millions of normal people volunteered, and you fitted the bill.
Well, this has been a real eye-opener, heart-opener, and I somehow feel, although nothing has changed and we will continue our relationship the way it's always been, that actually a lot will have changed. I can feel the shift in my heart.
This was necessary in order for our progress.
So then, shall I put the kettle on? Perhaps even buy a packet of biscuits.
We thank you for accepting this position. You knew before you came it would not all be plain sailing.
I know it now also. Thank you. Unexpected material for thought, yet I admit Your perseverance was necessary if I am to continue, and continue I will.
Our love to each one, trusting in yourselves to fulfill your heart's mission.
In love and thanks. Time now, 11:11. Love it. I will continue these lines of questioning in my next communication. This channeling turned out to be a rather personal one, yet I choose to share it because I feel it important for people to try and understand my relationship with the Federation. I've written a blog post to explain my position and why this particular conversation took place with them today. Much needed, I feel. Many thanks. You can find the post at blossomgoodchild.blogspot.com. Thank you.